To the intensifying search for the U.S. college student who vanished on spring break in the Dominican Republic, and new details about the last person with her that night. Ariel Resniff is in the Dominican Republic with more for us. Good morning, Ariel.
Good morning to you, Michael. A sheriff in Virginia is naming Joshua Riibe as a person of interest in this case. He was the last person to see that student on the beach before she vanished, but local authorities say he is not a suspect, that he's been cooperating with their investigation, and they've questioned him as a witness to a potential drowning.
This morning, a sheriff in Virginia, where missing college student Sudiksha Konanki lived, now calling the last man to see the 20-year-old before she vanished a person of interest. Officials say Konanki was last seen on this surveillance video leaving her spring break resort and heading to the beach with 24-year-old Joshua Riibe. The Loudoun County Sheriff's Office saying the Iowa resident is not a suspect. Dominican authorities tell ABC News Riibe gave them 3 versions of what happened that night with differing details, but they believe it was because he was too drunk to clearly remember. Konanki's family telling ABC News Riibe met them at the beach to show them what he believed happened the morning of her disappearance. He was able to recount that the two got into the water and were hit by a large wave. After that, he says he got sick on the beach and passed out. Officials say security cameras show him returning to his room shortly before 9 a.m., sunburned from sleeping on the beach.
He's a super nice kid. Josh was just so polite and, would always say, thank you, and yes, ma'am, and please. He was a good teammate in sports, and he was part of the Boy Scout troop with my son.
Laurel Schriever is a longtime neighbor of Joshua Riibe and has known him since he was 8 years old.
When I first heard about this, my reaction was Josh would never hurt a girl. I don't know what happened, but there's no way he would have intentionally been any part of any scheme to do something to her.
Dominican police say they don't believe there was any foul play and that evidence points to Konanki drowning.
This is the beach where Sudiksha disappeared, but just down the coastline, 3 foreign tourists died from drowning in these waters back in January.
The beaches of Punta Cana, one of the biggest draws, but experts say the waters of the Atlantic side are known for their powerful and even deadly rip currents.
Just because something might not look hazardous doesn't mean that there's no risk. Rip currents can occur with relatively small waves. And they can occur during nice weather.
And experts tell us that the weather at the time that Konanki disappeared was calm. There was nothing out of the ordinary, but as you heard there, rip currents can happen at any time. And just for reference, only one of the bodies of those 3 tourists back in January were recovered. And it's very important to stress here, guys, that this is not a criminal investigation at this point.